Let's start with the last video of this chapter, Class 10 Science, Metals and Non-Metals. I will give a lot of animations and experiments in this video, so please watch till the end. So in this video, we will cover occurrence of metals, extraction of metals, electrolytic refining and corrosion. So in the previous videos, we saw the various chemical and physical properties of metals and non-metals. But now the question that comes to your mind is that from where these metals came from. So the Earth's crust is the major source of these metals. And the compounds of metals that occur naturally in the Earth's crust are known as minerals. And the minerals that contain a very high percentage of a particular metal and that metal can be profitably extracted from the mineral, they are known as ores. So now the difference between the mineral and ore, it is very confusing. So let us understand this with the help of an example. So if I went to extract iron and I found 100 minerals of iron, but I found only 3 minerals from which the iron could be extracted profitably and which had a high percentage of iron. So these 3 minerals will be known as ores, and the rest 97 minerals, they will not be classified as ores. So from this example, we can say that all minerals are not ores, but all ores are minerals. So now let us study the extraction of metals from their ores. So this depends upon the reactivity of metals. So the reactivity of metals decides that by which process it will be extracted. On this basis, we divide the metals into 3 groups, that are metals of high reactivity, medium reactivity and metals of low reactivity. So metals such as potassium, calcium, sodium, magnesium and aluminium, they come in the category of high reactivity. And they always occur in combined state. That means in the state of compounds, in the form of compounds. And so they are on the top of the reactivity series. Next, metals like zinc, iron, lead, they are of medium reactivity. And they are found as oxides, sulfides and carbonates in the combined state. And metals such as copper, silver, platinum and gold, they are of very low reactivity and they only occur in free state. That means they don't combine with any other element, and they are at the bottom of the reactivity series. So now let us see the steps for extraction of metals from their ores. So in the beginning, we have an impure ore which contains large amounts of impurities such as soil, sand, etc. And this is known as gangue. All these impurities are known as gangue. So the first step in the extraction of metals is to remove this gangue. And this process of removing the gangue from the ore is known as concentration or enrichment of the ore. And after this, when this process is done of removing all the impurities, we get a pure ore. Now we will use different techniques to obtain the metals from this pure ore, and these techniques are based on the reactivity of the metals. As I told you earlier, we have divided it into 3 groups: metals of high reactivity, medium reactivity and low reactivity. So metals of high reactivity, they are extracted by electrolysis process. Medium reactivity metals can be extracted by carbon reduction, and low reactivity metals can be extracted by reduction by directly heating in air. Now let us study each of these processes in detail. So first let us study the extraction method for metals of medium reactivity. And in this we will study the example of zinc. So metals of medium reactivity are present in the form of 2 compounds, that are metal sulfides and metal carbonates. So zinc is present in the form of zinc sulfide and zinc carbonate. So the first step would be to convert these sulfides and carbonates into metal oxides, as it is easy to obtain a metal from its oxide than from its carbonate or its sulfide. So first we will have to convert this metal sulfide and metal carbonate into metal oxide, that is zinc oxide. For metal sulfides, the process used to convert it into oxide is roasting. And this is the process of heating a metal sulfide strongly in the presence of oxygen. And this reaction would be zinc sulfide plus oxygen in the presence of heat gives zinc oxide plus sulfur dioxide gas is liberated. Similarly, the method for making metal carbonate into metal oxide is known as calcination. In this process, we heat the metal carbonate in the absence of oxygen. So in roasting, we heated the metal in presence of oxygen, and in calcination, we heat in the absence of oxygen. So zinc carbonate in the absence of oxygen will give zinc oxide plus carbon dioxide gas. So now from both these methods, we have obtained zinc oxide, that is the metal oxide. The next process is to remove this oxygen from the metal oxide. So now we have to separate oxygen from this oxide and obtain the pure metal. This is done by reduction. So reduction is the removal of oxygen, and reduction is done by two methods. First is by using coke, which is a compound of carbon, and second is by using displacement reactions. So in the method of reduction by using carbon, carbon reduces zinc oxide into zinc, and carbon monoxide gas is liberated. And in displacement reaction method, the highly reactive metals are used to displace metals of low reactivity from their compounds. So if we take the example of manganese oxide, then manganese oxide is reduced with the help of these displacement reactions, and the metal used is aluminium. So as you know that manganese is less reactive than aluminium, so aluminium will displace it from its compound and we will get pure manganese. So manganese oxide plus aluminium gives us manganese plus aluminium oxide. In this way we have obtained the pure metal. So now after obtaining these pure metals, they have to be further refined by the process of electrolytic refining, which we will study later in the chapter. Now let us study the methods for extracting metals of low reactivity. And in this we will take up the example of mercury. So mercury is generally found in the form of metal sulfide. So it is found in the form of mercuric sulfide. So as you know that method for metal sulfide, the first step is converting it into metal oxide. Second, we have to reduce that metal oxide, and finally we have to refine the metal. So we will use a 3R method: roasting, reduction, refining. So in roasting, mercuric sulfide plus oxygen in the presence of heat will get converted into mercuric oxide, and sulfur dioxide gas will be liberated. Second, we will reduce this mercuric oxide, but in this we will reduce the reduction process will take place simply by heating the mercuric oxide. So mercuric oxide in the presence of heat gives us mercury plus oxygen gas is liberated. So now we have the mercury metal, and we will refine it by electrolytic refining, and we will get the pure metal. So now let us see the extraction method for metals of high reactivity. So the problem with these metals is that they have very strong bonding, so they can't be separated by reducing agents such as carbon. So the solution is that we use electrolytic reduction for separation of the metals of high reactivity. So let us take up the example of separation of sodium from sodium chloride. So the thumb rule for separation of high reactivity metals by electrolytic reduction is that we have to take the molten metal. So in this we will take the molten sodium chloride. This is because sodium chloride in solid form can't dissociate easily into ions. So here we have the molten or fused NaCl, and we are putting 2 carbon electrodes. So the electrode connected to the positive terminal of the battery is known as anode, and the electrode connected to the negative terminal of the battery is known as cathode. Now, when electricity is passed through the solution, then the NaCl dissociates into Cl negative and Na positive ions. The Cl negative ions move towards the anode and they get attracted towards the anode. So the reaction near the anode is that the Cl negative ion will come there and it will lose its electron and get converted into chlorine atom. These chlorine atoms will form chlorine gas. At the cathode, the Na positive ions will get attracted. They will gain an electron and form the Na atoms. Thus, we will get sodium deposits at the cathode, and at the anode, chlorine gas will be liberated. So now let us study electrolytic refining. So it is used for purifying metals like copper, zinc, silver, gold, etc. Now let us see the steps for refining. Step 1. A thick block of impure metal is taken as anode, the positive electrode, and a thin strip of pure metal is taken as cathode. So the impure metal is taken as the positive electrode and the pure metal is taken as negative electrode. Step 2. A solution of the metal salt is used as electrolyte. So the metal which we are trying to refine, its salt solution is taken as electrolyte. For example, if we are trying to purify copper, then the electrolyte will be copper sulfate solution. Step 3. On passing electricity, the impure metal dissolves from the anode and goes into the electrolyte solution. And the pure metal from the electrolyte solution keeps on depositing on the cathode. Thus, the size of cathode increases and the size of anode decreases. Step 4. The soluble impurities present in the impure metal go into the solution, while the insoluble impurities settle down at the bottom of the solution as anode mud. So now let us understand the refining of copper. So in this process, copper sulfate is taken as electrolyte, a thick rod of impure copper is taken at anode, and a thin strip of pure copper is taken at cathode. When current is passed through the copper sulfate solution, the copper sulfate dissociates into Cu2 positive and SO4 2 negative ions. At the anode, copper atoms lose 2 electrons to get converted into copper ions. These come into the electrolyte. The Cu2 positive ions from the electrolyte get attracted towards the cathode and gain 2 electrons from the cathode and change into copper atoms. As more copper atoms get deposited on the cathode becomes thicker, and as copper ions keep coming out of the anode, it becomes thinner. The impurities from the impure copper fall down below the anode and get collected as anode mud. So the copper collected on the cathode is pure copper. In this way we have refined copper. So now let us see corrosion. So corrosion is the process in which metals are eaten up gradually by the action of air, moisture or acids on the surface. For example, silver articles become black after some time when exposed to air. This is because silver reacts with sulfur in the air to form a coating of silver sulfide. Similarly, copper reacts with moist carbon dioxide in the air and slowly loses its shiny brown surface and gains a green coat. This green substance is basic copper carbonate. Iron, when exposed to moist air for a long time, acquires a coating of a brown flaky substance called rust. This is known as rusting of iron. Now let us see the methods to prevent corrosion. First, galvanization. So galvanization is the method of protecting steel and iron from rust by coating them with the layer of zinc. Example, galvanization is used to protect the iron and steel used in shipbuilding. Second, alloying. So this is a good method in improving the properties of a metal. So an alloy is a homogeneous mixture of two or more metals or a metal and a non-metal. For example, when iron is mixed with nickel and chromium, we get stainless steel, which is hard and doesn't rust. So stainless steel is an improved variety of iron. Similarly, gold is alloyed with copper and silver to make it hard and use it for jewelry making. So initially, the pure gold is very soft. So to make it hard, we alloy it with copper and silver. Now there are some important names of few alloys which we will study. So brass is an alloy of copper and zinc, bronze is an alloy of copper and tin, and solder is an alloy of lead and tin. These questions can come in the exam in MCQ type. The third method to prevent corrosion is painting. Fourth, applying grease or oil, and fifth, chromium plating. So all these methods prevent the contact of the metal with the moisture and air. So in this way they prevent corrosion. So with this, we come to the end of this chapter. I hope you enjoyed all the animations. Stay tuned for the next chapter. I have provided all these notes in the description box. Do subscribe to my channel if you have not till now. Thank you.